Welcome to another episode of the State of the Bulldogs. Sam, Mike, Jeb, and Grant. Grant and I tonight. Jeb may be popping in here soon, maybe not. We'll see. But Grant, wish we were here on better terms. Basketball going 0-2, dropping the game to Furman against a rather beat up Furman squad, and then the heartbreaker to ETSU, where I thought we had the dub twice, only for them to get a sneaky put back at the end to win the game. But other than that, Grant, MLK weekend, a lot of NFL. How we doing? I know your Chiefs aren't there, but
yep, that's something else. A new team. I saw something said like since 2010, the Chiefs or the Patriots have been the AFC title game. Patriots, unfortunately, jumping there. It's a whole new team, but we still hate them. Even though you just see the logo, it's like, oh, Patriots. Gosh, I don't want them to win. But when you're playing Jarrett Stidham in a championship game, it's like, well, then they're probably going to walk to the title game to hopefully play the Rams. I kind of want to see Stafford get his ring.
I don't know, man. Nick Bonito, he's a dog. I mean, that Bronco defense may single-handedly win the game because, I mean, the Patriots played the Texans, right? Well, the Broncos, I don't know how bad Stidham is, but he ain't going to give the Patriots 5 extra possessions.
He won't throw 4 turnovers in a half. Yeah, he won't throw 4 turnovers in the first half and then fumble.
That's the craziest. That was the worst. That was the worst quarterback playoff performance I think I've ever seen in my life. It was so bad. It was so bad. And then, but it didn't matter. We were gifted probably the best national championship game of the playoffs on Monday night with Indiana beating Miami. I'm trying to think of another. I mean, there's been a few good ones, like the Clemson Alabama one, the Clemson championship one where they got the last second touchdown was pretty epic.
Yeah, on the big play. Yeah. Let's see. Yeah.
Okay, roll tide much.
Once the last one scored title game we had was, that was 2017 when Bama played Georgia, the Tua throw.
That was also an awesome game. That was the only reason that one wasn't better was the stories weren't as good. I mean, Saban was kind of at the end of his dynasty. Kirby was on the come up, and he still had super teams. I think what made this one so special was, there are still super-ish teams. There's still teams with like 2 first-rounders on each team. Ohio State may be the lone exception. But for the most part, this playoff was pretty awesome. And it ended with the best unit, the best team by far, winning it all. And, I mean, second only to Leicester City winning the Premier League, greatest sports accomplishment in history.
You can't think of anything else. They showed the graphic pregame, like a program comparison between Miami and Indiana had a number of wins, losses. Wins, lost at Heisman's and titles. Obviously, Indiana didn't have a title until yesterday, but they had like 720 something career losses as a program, which is the second most ever in FBS football history. And then they this whole season.
I mean, it's literally. I think Texas has about 700 wins, or Oklahoma has like 700 wins. It's like inverting those schools' record over the last 150 years or whatever. I mean, it is absolutely wild what Signetti did. And I don't like the whole argument that it's Mark Cuban's team. It's like, give me a break. These guys were not portal bag hunters. They were precision oriented and got they got deals in the portal.
Yeah, they will be going forward. They'll be the portal kings going forward. If you just look at the class for this year, you throw in all the guys you brought in from James Madison last year. There's like still 6 to 7 guys from JMU on this year's team. Like even Brewer or Becker, the wide receiver, he didn't even start the year. And he became the best receiver late in the year.
I'm a little biased there. I don't like Father Ryan, the high school that he went to. Always the dirtiest school in the league. So didn't really care that he went there. Certainly not a fan, but
Yeah, I forgot to tell you, Samford did offer a 2027 a recruit from
Macaulay.
From Macaulay. So there you go. Yeah. So I forgot to tell you. Now I'm telling you. See, there you go. Yeah, some DBs.
Hey, that's awesome. That's awesome, dude. We have so much football stuff to get through. We'll touch on some of it today, but I mean, let's just put it this way: the coaches are putting in the work, especially now that the big D1 schools are kind of done with this portal cycle. I think I'm with the internet in believing that there will be an unofficial spring portal that will inevitably pop up. There was 4,000 or 5,000, maybe even 6,000 athletes still in the portal once it closed.
Yeah, it kept climbing. Yeah, 4 or 5. Like it changed so many times, and then they had until today, technically 2 business days after the portal today, and then that spring portal you talked about. There isn't a portal per se, but guys could just drop out of school and then enroll somewhere else.
Right. There isn't an official one.
Yeah.
But let's be real. So we got some football. So the coaches have a lot of players to choose from. Let's put it that way. And let's get to basketball, Grant. So we lost to Furman. Furman they had 8 scholarship players out. They look good. The Alex Wilkins kid, freshman, stud, unstoppable. Not really it was refreshing. It was a Furman player that dominated us that wasn't annoying to watch. Sometimes Bothwell would get annoying. Sometimes Piggy would get annoying. Vanderwalt is always annoying. But I don't know. It was kind of like, all right, this kid is just a straight baller. You kind of got to just respect it.
Yeah, there are a lot of times you can't even get upset. Like he would make a fadeaway jumper, and you'd be like, dude, like I don't even know what to, like. Can you say that? But you just like sighing on the bench, and Lenny's over there. I'm sure, and on the inside, he's like, oh my gosh, this kid's ridiculous. He even said post game, he's like, that's one of the greatest performances I've seen from a freshman, because he was getting into his spots, 28 points in 34 minutes. He almost fouled. He picked up his 4th foul with like 8 minutes left. It's like, okay, maybe we can foul him out, have a chance. Nope, that didn't happen. But yeah, 11 to 20 from the field, but he was getting to whatever spot he wanted against Samford defense. They threw a couple guys on him. They threw Cade Norris at him. Cade isn't as quick as Wilkins. They tried Diggy on him, but Diggy doesn't have the size to compete with Wilkins. Zion wasn't there because his grandmother passed away, so he was out in California, so he would have been the ideal matchup for Wilkins. He wasn't there, so we
would have needed him.
That working on. Yeah, for sure.
But it also, there's no excuse to lose to this Furman team. I mean, you had 28 points out of Wilkins. Literally no one else got more than 10. The secret to Furman sauce was kind of what they always do. They spread the ball around. You got points from basically the entire everybody that played. That was not the case with Samford. I did think, you correct me if I'm wrong, Grant, but it felt like defensively we were able to shore some stuff up when we were in zone. We were getting eaten a little more alive when we were in man. I didn't pay that close attention to that, but I did notice that. That it kind of the lead tightened and we're able to claw back into it by getting a few stops. But I mean, we just didn't get the offense. I mean, our leading scorer, Dylan, at 19. Jane Booth only has 12. If Jane Booth has 12 points, we are going to lose the game. That's like the 20 games into the season. That's the takeaway. Jaden's got to get above 20, and Dylan's got to flirt with 20 to have a prayer. If Jaden's below 20, it's an L almost automatically. I mean, 39 minutes, just not great. We just didn't. 5 for 20 from 3 is not terrible. It's not good, obviously, but it's not terrible. Especially in a tight game against a team that was challenged offensively as well. That's kind of how you get away with it, but just not enough. Not enough.
Yeah, that's how you mitigate that size and length, by spacing the floor and knocking down threes. If they took some threes they made against ETSU and put them over to Wednesday, Keaton Norris obviously hit a couple. He was going through a spell. He even hit the one, his first one against ETSU. He threw his hands up there, basically saying, "Thank God I finally made one." He was 0 for 4 in this game. Brother Cade, 1 for 3. Even got 15 points from a guy like Will Shaver, who had his best game as a collegiate player, pretty much 15 points.
I thought he played well. I thought he played really well.
Yeah, 15 points, 4 boards, and you got 15 points out of him, and you still lost by 4. That's I don't know. I don't even know how to quantify that other than, hey, score more points. But I don't know.
Yeah, no. Will Shaver. No, I'm not going to call it his breakout game, right? But certainly his best game so far in a Samford jersey. He looked good. If you get that Will Shaver week in, week out, that adds a little bit of, or that adds a lot to your competitive formula for winning some of these games. Because you got Faulkner down low, but just adding one more guy who can consistently get points, because Shaver plays hard. He gets caught up a little bit because he's not very quick. But when he is in the right position, he plays good defense. He's big guy, so he's hard to move. I was a big fan of. I was like, all right, Shaver, this is your game. Let's go, baby. Just wasn't enough.
Yeah, 15 points, 13 minutes. He had a 11 points against Western, played 21 minutes too, and that was the game too that Samford needed to he hit a three to kind of get them back in it when Jaden was basically going off. He was basically the only one outside of Jaden to hit a three in that Western game to kind of bring Samford back. But then he follows it up with 8 minutes played against ETSU, and Samford had nobody.
We'll get to ETSU in a minute.
Baker, but
because I will say, coming off this Furman game, we knew ETSU was going to be bigger. They like I think the point differential in the paint was 30. But coming out of Furman, I was like, all right, I think Shaver, like that kind of performance you can build off of. And then obviously that momentum was just shot, 9 minutes, 0 points. But one last comment about the Furman game, because we do play them in a couple weeks. On one hand, you can be like, we're going to get dominated the second time if they're healthier. It's going to be pretty ugly. On the other hand, you're like, hey, maybe we played down. Not that the guys they had on the court were bad. Obviously, they beat us. But our guys, other than Faulkner, didn't have a great game either. So there's the silver lining there where, hey, we left a lot out there. Maybe they can bounce back. Maybe they can find something on the road. But we'll see. Not really looking forward to the next Furman matchup.
Yeah, and then like you said, you throw Zion in there too. That gives you a little more hope to add some more length defensively to kind of counter what Furman and ETSU both have, but mainly Furman, a team that's had the strength of size advantage on you before and past years, even under Bucky too, other than I guess our title year. But pretty much every other matchup they had the advantage on that, and Zion adds a little bit more length defensively, and then if he can just give you anything offensively, he'll play a lot compared to what he normally plays minutes wise.
Yeah. All right, so let's get to the Bucks. Heartbreaking loss. A loss that you got to credit ETSU. Super efficient. I think they missed, one free throw. Amazing. And then they were 6 for 12 from three. So they didn't shoot a ton of threes, but they shot 50% or made 50% of what they shot, and then just absolutely destroyed us in the paint. 40 points in the paint to our 18, so 22-point differential there. That's not great, Grant. And then they had 30 rebounds to our 25. Also not great in a tight game. That's the difference, right? They made all their free throws. We didn't. They shot efficiently from three. We didn't. They out-rebounded us. And then they just got easy buckets.
Yeah,
you just couldn't lose by one.
Yeah, it couldn't protect the paint. Even asked Lenny about that afterwards. Like, you had trouble getting them out of the paint. You just going to Barkley. We talked about 36 minutes, 11 boards, 26 points. He had to put back to finish it. But yeah, you're just so close. And those threes we talked about, you weren't hitting on Furman. You were hitting on Samford's, and even Cade Norris had a couple. He was 3 of 6 from three. Keaton, like I said, hit the one to get back into, hit the one to take the lead, which would have been the game winner for Keaton.
That was hype.
Yeah. Even your starters, like you go to the starters, Jaden played all 40 minutes, Keaton played 38, Cade played 30, and Dylan played 30, and you just didn't have anybody else. Cam Martin hit a few big threes for you, which he's going to need to be out there, and his minutes kind of stretch the floor and help Samford in that regard too when Diggy and those other guys are out. But yeah, again, just couldn't force them out of the paint. You just look at the points in the paint. And free throws, they only missed one free throw. Even Lenny talked about it after. He said, if you all have any ideas on how to stop a team from making all their free throws against us, I would love to hear it, because I can't find a reason, because they went 16 for 17 on the road. And Samford, like you said, only missed 2, and Dylan Faulkner was 6-7, which is pretty impressive.
That's what's tough. Is like you look at our performance, and it's like, what more could we have done from a guard perspective, from a free throw perspective? And it's like really not much. I mean, you said Jaden played the whole game. He played awesome. Like, he only had 19 points, but he had 5 assists. You know, the offense on the perimeter was rolling. And we'll get to the Wofford game coming up. But that's what gives me hope for the Wofford game, because Wofford is not like ETSU where they're going to pound us inside. They're much more like Furman and UTC, where the guards are their difference makers. And those are matchups that it seems like, as we get deeper in conference play, that we have shots at winning. There's no team outside of VMI that we're going to blow out. Every game is going to be tight. It seems like. Maybe Western, we'll see, but they've even had some good results. So it stinks, because losing 2 tight games like this is probably going to be the difference between getting that being in contention down the stretch for the first round bye. So more than likely, we'll probably be playing on that first day. Just how it's shaping up right now.
Yeah, and we'll get to a question later where someone asked the same thing. Like pretty much at this point in the season, in fact, we can just get into it now. I forgot what his. Let me go find a question. It was Joe Guy. What are y'all's expectations for how we should finish out conference play? Yeah, you just got to find a way to not play Friday, right? You got to get in the top 6. You got to find a way, and we'll get more into this as the season goes on. But that's like the process right now. That's the main goal right now. Find a way to win enough games to get out of the top 6, to get in the top 6 and not have to play that 7, 10, 8, 9 games. So that's kind of the expectation where that's the goal that Samford's want to find. And you would feel you would feel better about that, obviously, if you went 1-1 or 2-0 this week. I mean, you only lost 2 games to 2 of the best teams in the conference by a combined 6-7 points.
I mean, that's what's tough. If you go 1-1 every week, you will not be the 7th seed. You'll be the 6th seed, maybe even the 5. Oh no, you'll be the 6th seed.
It'll be close because just the conference is jumbled together. Yeah.
Yes, it'll be tight. But 3 straight conference losses. 2 of them you could have won at home. That's the recipe for playing on Friday. But yeah, we travel to Wofford, which is a winnable game. We get another crack at UTC. That game, obviously, being down 27, 28 points, whatever it was, did not go well for us the first time. So, hey, only up from there. You hope that you have a shot at winning that one. We talked about, then you go on the road to Furman. So out of those 3, realistically, we win 1 game. So that's 2 more losses we're looking at. You travel to Western, got to win that one. Got to beat the Citadel. Then we have Mercer, probably L. They're looking pretty good. Then you play Wofford again. Maybe out of that stretch, you lose to Mercer, but you beat Western, Citadel, and then Wofford's a toss-up. So I have 3 more losses with Mercer. You go to ETSU, you go to Citadel, you go to Mercer. That's realistically 2 more losses, ETSU and Mercer again. But then you beat VMI, beat UNCG, beat Citadel. So that's what, 5 losses? 4 or 5 losses. So that's 9 conference losses. Let me look up last year's standings and see what that would have gotten us.
KenPom kind of mirrors that same thing too. They have 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6 of those losses they have projected to, as of now, have a couple weeks, but lose to Mercer and then lose the other road games, and then you would again beat VMI, UNCG, Citadel, and then hopefully get Wofford at home. So the main goal is to get out of that 7-10 game. Is obviously you got to win the rest of your home games. Basically, that will help. That's a big reason why getting in that 6, even 5 seed, and then you see if you can steal 1 or 2 on the road. That's the recipe to getting in the top 4 or even top 5, depending on how jumbled the conference will continue to be as it kind of sits right now.
8 to 9 conference losses would have gotten you the 6th seed last year. It is a much tighter in that region in 23-24 season. That would have been tiebreakers to get the 6th seed. So that to say, I feel like that was a fairly conservative outlook of the remainder of the schedule. Like essentially saying we're going to lose every single game that we're not clearly better than the other team. And then the ones where it's a little bit tighter toss up. It feels reasonable that we won't play on Friday. At the moment, we're playing on Friday because you can't lose 3 straight and then sit here with a straight face and say, "Oh no, we're a better basketball team than our record." At the moment, we're not.
Yeah, KenPom would have it like ETSU, like the projected right now is 4 losses, 5 losses, 6, 7. Chattanooga 9-9, and then there's 3 teams that are projected to go 8-10: Samford, UNCG, Western. So you got Western, you're at Western, and then you got UNCG at home. So you would have to take both of those. You get the tiebreak on that, and then you sweep Western. So hopefully you're in a tie with Western. Worst case scenario in that 6-7 spot, then you got the tiebreaker for Western. They have to play VMI and or the Citadel. So yeah, that's kind of back and forth. They could still, like you said, Wofford on the road or one of these others on the road. That'd be a big boost to even getting that top 4, top 5.
Yeah, there's a lot of basketball left to play, obviously. Yeah. And what's funny is through the beginning of conference play, we've seen different aspects of this team flash. So it gives you some hope that we're not totally one-dimensional. I think probably the most concerning trend is that if there is a true game breaker on the other side, we have no answer. For how good Jaden Booth is, he can't play shutdown defense too. Like he's just not your all-around stud who's going to go out and win you the game week in, week out, right? Or night in, night out. Yep. So that's the one concern. is now we're 3 games or 4 games really, where like one guy has completely taken over the game and we don't have an answer for that. That's a little concerning. But that speaks to the inconsistency too, because sometimes it's a guard, sometimes it's a big man. So I don't know. It's been fun. I mean, I know we're sitting here at 2-4, but this has been a highly entertaining. The heart palpitations of being down 27, 28 points, 18 points coming all the way back. Like, that's fun. Sucks to lose. If we just beaten ETSU, I feel so much better. So much better.
Yeah, if you get the rebound, second chance. I mean, we're used to these close games before. The heart palpitations, close games, are coming down on the wire. Like, even like Bucky's team last year's were the only team. It's like, oh gosh, we're down 16. Hey, we'll find a way. We'll figure it out. We'll find a way to win. And then Samford's had that one time against Western today. They didn't have it against Chattanooga. Again, Bucky never was down 28 or 29 points in one game. That's hard on the road, obviously. But yeah, the team will start to gel and get better. And again, A-Cuff's teams get better over the course of the season. We've seen in his previous stops. So it's just a matter of what can kind of gel. And if you get both Norris brothers going, who got a lot of confidence from ETSU, if that can carry over, that'll be a big boost. So Jaden doesn't have to get 35, Dylan has to have to get 20, and then if like Keaton and Cade combined to give you 10, it's like you're not going to win any games. You're going to need one of those guys to step up and have 12 to 15 a night.
And hey, we'll say it every week until he's no longer on the team, but Zion Wilburn, if you can learn how to score consistently, you will be a stud. And he could be kind of your X factor, a little bit like what AJ State McCray turned into, where he was started as a defensive threat. I'm going to give him a little more runway than Jaden Campbell. I think AJ progressed much further than Jaden did. And if Zion can reach that ceiling, then we're cooking.
Yeah.
But we got a ways to go.
Yeah, AJ and Zion do have similar profiles. Even like I remember talking to Bucky last year when Zion walked on, like he's further along than AJ was as a freshman. So that kind of gives you hope. Again, if, as we've talked about over the course of several weeks in the season, if Zion gives you anything offensively, that would be obviously a huge boost. Like Arkansas, the reason why you're in that game because he had 15 points against Arkansas, which was asking Coach Cal, like, who the heck, like,
fell asleep.
Yeah, and he's like, who the heck is that guy? Like, I remember that guy on the scouting report. We need that guy to kind of show up and kind of be that kind of guy. And again, he'll play defense for you late in games. As Lindy's used him as a stopper multiple times late in games once he gets back into the flow of things. And he's back on campus now. He was here for the game against ETSU Saturday, but he had just flew in Friday night, and Lenny wasn't going to play him after he had practiced all week on Saturday. So
sure.
So he should be good to go.
All right, so let's talk Wofford real quick. Wofford is near the top of the conference. They're 4-2 on the season. Now, granted, they haven't played the top of the conference. They lost to Mercer, the best team they've played, but they beat Western, beat Citadel, beat UNCG. Nothing to sneeze at because we did lose to UNCG. But lost to Mercer 109-97 and lost to Chat 76-67. But coming off a Furman dub at Furman, which you kind of love to see in the rivalry. Sorry, Furman. 74-70 before we head to the Jerry Richardson Indoor. And I don't even know why. Like, they have the best stadium by far in the conference. Like, Furman redoes their stadium. It's really not that great. I'm sorry, SoCon John. All the video, all the pictures, nah. Like, it's okay. It's not bad. It's better than what they were playing in, but it is nowhere close to some of the other arenas in the conference. And Wofford's is the crown jewel. I would put UTC's right there. It's just older. But in terms of vibes and atmosphere, UTC is probably the coolest. But anyway, so we travel to Wofford. As I said, mixed bag. They're led by this guy, Nils Mikowski from Berlin, Germany. So who was the guy last year? Who was that Russian or the Polish guy last year? I always forget his name. But
you're not talking about the big man. You're talking about.
I'm talking about the big man.
You're talking about.
He wasn't. I think he was American, but.
A Canadian, Filowich,
that's right. He was Canadian. Yeah, that's right.
Canadian.
That's
where they paid,
American.
a 51st state. Where you they asked Rick Barry to help him do the underhanded throw.
Yes,
like to see them try.
Rick Barry, right? That's right.
Where they paid
so
$6
they go from
to ask him to underhand free throw. Yeah.
They had Filowich as the pillar of the team last year, and then they got this kid Niels, who's really good. He's a 6'3" guard who can play, or who can score from anywhere. He's a Central Florida transfer. In conference play, Grant, he's shooting 54% from three. The dude is 30 for 55. That is insane. Like, that is insane.
Yeah,
but he's just a scorer. He has 13 assists and 10 turnovers. Like, he's not the facilitator. He's the shooter. So he's the guy. Yeah. We're prone to the guy taking us over. He's the guy that can take us over.
Yeah, scored in double figures in 13 consecutive games. Had 27 against Western, 37 against Citadel, and then a loss against Mercer. He had 33 of the 97. That's insane. Then 14 against Chat. Then 20 against Furman. But yeah, 3-point shooter, 39% from three, transfer from UCF. But yeah, kind of a way of which Samford hasn't seen yet. I guess Wilkins is more of an all-around scorer, but Niels is more of a shooter from the outside. But he can still get to his shot. He's not as long and as big as Wilkins at 6'3", 183. But I mean, he still gets to his spots, 37%, 39%, like I said, from three, and 81% for the free throw line. So yeah, it's the guy.
Their second scorer, Kamar Holmes, another guard, 6'3", also shoots it very well. He's shooting at 34% from three in conference play, but we can't all be at 54%. Interestingly, Grant, and what I like most about this matchup is they're not huge. Tallest guy that contributes is 6'9". For the most part, it's a smaller basketball team. And so from that perspective, it's going to be very different than even Furman. I was surprised at how long Furman was compared to us. So excited to see that, because it's almost like we're equals. I don't think Jaden Booth is as good a shooter as Mikowski right now. I know that we had pulled up some stat last week, or maybe y'all had tweeted that he's on pace for the Wofford great Fletcher McGee in terms of scoring or shooting percentage.
Yeah,
that was surprising. But yeah, I like this matchup a lot better than the last couple of games. It doesn't mean we'll win, but I think the opportunity's there to not necessarily get dominated. And if Zion plays, he's a guy that could hopefully shut Mikowski down, if that's how you say it. No one has yet. Not saying that he will, but he would give us a decent shot.
At 24 points per game in conference play. Good Lord, 55, like you said, 55% from three on 9 attempts a game. Like Jaden's 44% on 9.8 attempts per game, and Niels is 54% on 9.2 attempts per game in conference play. Just insane.
So yeah, Camden Harper had asked for predictions for Wofford tomorrow. I think we're going to win. Is part of that the bias that my brother went there, and I always bet that we're going to beat Wofford. Yes, of course, yes. Every sport, all the time, anywhere, anytime. But I think the matchup bodes well for us. Like I just said, they're not as big. They do have a stud scorer. So do we. And our team, especially coming off 3 straight losses, has got to be like, hey, guys, we got to dig in. Let's play hard defense. Let's get this win, and let's get back home. Kind of like get on the road. It's just the guys. Bus ride, time to gel. Hotel, time to gel. It's time to rally.
Yeah, and both teams are Wofford 332nd, ETSU or Samford in the 340s and 3-point percentage defense. So look for some shots, and whoever can knock down those shots.
So 110. Yeah. We're taking the over. It's 110 to 100. If it gets into the 90s, we lost, Grant. Let's be real.
Yeah, the race to 69 is going to be race to 89 at this point, especially with the team that we've seen Wofford. Like, they put up 67 against Chattanooga. That's their lowest in conference play, and then just insane the way they can put up points, and as teams do shoot free throws well against them, whatever that means. But looking at kind of Samford free throw. Dylan Faulkner's
that doesn't mean anything. Just means you're fouling the wrong person. That's really all it means.
Exactly. Yeah, Dylan Faulkner's up to 4th in the country in fouls drawn per 40 minutes. So that's
so maybe tell coach that. Hey, if you don't want him to make free throws, don't foul the guys that can make free throws.
Yeah.
Not that difficult.
Yeah, exactly. Math. Yeah, math on that point.
So are you feeling a win? What is Ken Palm saying? What are you saying? I'm feeling a win.
I'm shocked. Ken Palm is.
Hey, y'all are always painting me as a negative Nancy, so I don't want.
Yeah, that's true. Mike's not here to defend himself. They have it as a 3-point game, 79-76, Wofford to win. I do think Wofford at home finds a way to get a win. And Samford has to have it. Like we joked that Samford had to have Furman with their injuries. They have to have Chattanooga to have any chance to not spend all of February climbing out of a hole just to not play on that Friday.
I know. We got to start finding some victories. Close losses are going to kill us because ultimately, that's especially if we somehow split with Western. They're going to go to. I'm sure the tiebreaker's next common opponent, or I don't know. Maybe it's not, but we got to beat one of the top dogs right this season if we want to have any prayer at not being the 7 seed. All right, so basketball, we'll see. There's a lot to like, a lot to desire, but at the end of the day, it's all about winning, and you just got to start somewhere.
You're so close. You're almost there for everything coming together, finding a way. You just can't.
Lincoln Riley, chill.
We're so close. You freeze. Yeah, he freeze.
Similar theme on the women's side. Couple close losses. We're 1-2 in conference play. We said last week we had dropped the two road games at UNCG, at Western. Dropped the one at UNCG, beat Western, and then we dropped at Mercer. So 3 straight road games, not going to do you any favors. We take on Wofford and Furman for 2 games at home this Thursday and this Saturday. So same deal. Hoping the women can find a little more success in conference play than the men. We shall see. From a football perspective, we said at the beginning the coaches are busy. Portal commits are happening. High school recruiting is happening. A lot of traveling, a lot of new coaches. We said it last week, say it again. It's a very exciting time to be a Samford football fan. A lot of good momentum being built for this season. Grant, you tweeted out right before we started recording that we have our first game. Who are we playing? North Alabama?
Yeah, we got we had 11 games scheduled for a while, but we'll play North Alabama. The Huntsville Sports Commission announces they're having a press conference on Friday to announce this kickoff game. Samford will play North Alabama in Huntsville Saturday, August 29th, and the first and only matchup they have played in history is 2002. So Samford
that's crazy, man.
Yeah, so Samford with 2 in-state non-conference games, having to go to Texas last year with Baylor and A&M, so they get to play North Alabama Huntsville before they come play UAB first week in October. So you get to stay in state rather than have to go travel far and kind of get some money that way. So
I'm trying to see, like, why would we have only played? Was UNA D2 for a long time? It seems like they were.
Yeah, they were for a while. Yeah.
Yes, they didn't join D1 until 2018, so that would be why. Yeah. Our hiatus from the entire sport of football probably contributed, and then when we came back, I think we were D2 for one season and then independent D1 the next season. But that was way back. So that'll be fun. I like that. UNA, a UAC team, did not go well against the last UAC team we played in West Georgia on the road 2 years ago. Kind of a sign of things to come, but we didn't really know it at the time. We were coming off hot after that 22 season. So yeah, I'm excited. I love the UAB series. I love the North Alabama series. Like, give me more regional Alabama football. It'll be good. That'll be good.
And we got
but just go ahead, Grant.
We got a full schedule now, all 12 games. So now we got that too. So now you'll something to look forward to. So we go. Your non-conference games start will be North Alabama on the 29th in Huntsville. You'll host Southern Illinois on the 5th. You'll go at UAB on October 3rd. So those are your non-conference games in the year with Auburn. So those are your 4 non-conference games in your 12-game schedule, with FCS moving to 12 games now rather than 11, which we've seen before COVID. But so
yeah, I like the 12. Yeah. Going through some of the guys that have committed thus far. If you have not checked out the portal tracker, it's back up. Grant has updated it for the 2026 transfer portal for football. It is easily our most visited site every year, whether it's basketball or football, or a visited page. So be sure to check that out, stateofthebulldogs.com. But the guys coming in, Grant, we got some fun. The only one I'm not excited about, because It's just we have had plenty of Auburn tight ends over the years.
But
Camden Etheridge, he might be really good. Who knows? We have yet to get a good one from Auburn.
Yeah, I was gonna ask if I could guess one,
wants to play.
Yeah, it's true. I was gonna ask if I could guess one, but that wasn't the one I thought you were gonna pick. So never mind. I was gonna put.
Who were you thinking?
Oh, we don't know him. We'll get to know him. Noah Sachs, offensive lineman. There's D3 linemen. I didn't know how you felt about those. So
okay,
so make sure.
That's a good point. I wasn't excited that he was D3, but he's huge and he has an awesome name. So I got excited about the name. That's really all I cared about. I have no idea if he's good, but yeah, I don't love the D3 transfer. At the same time, we have a new O-line coach. We have zero expectations. We have no idea if this guy can evaluate talent and develop talent. He gets the benefit of the doubt. If he thinks Noah Sachs is a dog, let's bring him in. If he thinks he brought him in just to be a practice dummy, that's okay too. Dude has an incredible name, Noah Sachs. Like, how good? It would be better if he was a D lineman.
Yeah, he could play.
But it's kind of ironic that he's O-line. It's kind of fun. I like it. I like irony. No, but I think the guy, the gem has got to be Marquise Henderson from Clemson. I mean, he gets kicked off the team. We don't really know why he got kicked off the team, but he's a legitimate football player, a very good football player.
4-star recruit.
At the moment, that's all we need.
Yeah, 4-star recruit coming out of high school. So yeah, get that going there. He's a running back, wide receiver, more running back, but yeah, he's definitely the big get so far.
Yeah, and then we had Spencer Kahn, Murray State linebacker, Desmond Thomas, D tackle from Alabama State. He looks good.
He's huge.
I'm trusting all the D-line commitments because Michael Pierce, I guarantee you knows how to look at a guy and says, he's good, he's not good. There's a lot of big guys out there. We're hoping we got the good big guys. Aiden Jeter, D-lineman from Fordham. And then the quarterback. So we were talking about no quarterback. We got our first quarterback. Don't know if he's going to be the guy, but Coulter Cleveland out of Davidson. He was the starter last year for Davidson, right, Grant?
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yeah, started.
Okay, so that's a really good get.
Starts.
Really good get there in terms of experience. Noah Holton, Tuskegee linebacker. This guy looks good too. The defense has some fun pieces. And Noah Sachs, we mentioned. Then Keon Dunlap, Troy. He looks fun. It's going to be a very different vibe. It seems like, Grant, a very different team identity, team style, largely because we're not looking at 4 walk-on quarterbacks who are all 5'10", white, 120 pounds, development pieces. It's going to be a different vibe. I like the defense it gets so far. We'll see how the offense shakes out, but the jewel's got to be Marquise Henderson right now. Again, we don't know why he got kicked off the team. So that is lingering out there. Who knows? But right now, we're pretty excited.
Yeah, you got to rebuild the quarterback room. We knew Hatcher liked to keep 45,000 quarterbacks in his quarterback room. They just said Samford has 2. You throw in Cleveland. Dave's transfer has 3. We'll see if they look to add one more.
Grant, who needs depth along the O line or the D line? Like, why do you need you need more quarterbacks? Because if you need your 8th quarterback, by golly, you're going to have them at Samford.
Yeah, and they do need a linebacker. If you go to the defense, linebacker is kind of a spot they needed to replace with Jaden Mosley moving on. Has
he committed anywhere? He could come back.
No, he could. Last I saw, he visited shout out Trey Lamb at Tulsa in the Portal House. I haven't seen anywhere else where he visited. And then Carson Sloan, another guy who went to App State. You got to replace those 2 guys. Sloan was a really good piece last year for a defense that struggled. And then still need to shout out D Newsom, who transferred to Purdue, had nice analytical numbers when it came to Samford's defense, which struggled in pass. So we'll see.
I'm sorry. Literally any guy in the secondary last year, I would not touch him with a 10-foot pole. But hey, Purdue, you're not Indiana. Okay. So have fun.
It could be.
I will say it's not signing guys like that. I will say Donovan Grayson going to Coastal, pretty fun. Mm-hmm. He was a good player.
He was good. Yeah.
Sam Pickett to App State. I mean, I don't love losing the guys to like G5. Like, that's not great. I get it, but I don't love that. I really don't love losing a guy like Nate Carter or Kelton Crisp to Austin P and UTC. I'm not saying that those guys necessarily would have fit what Coach Pierce is looking for, but it's just, I don't know, it never feels good to lose to somebody to an equal. Brady Stober, I get, he's trying to find some playing time. Yeah. And not a bad quarterback. Elon got, especially if he takes another step up, could be a pretty good guy, pretty good quarterback. Mm-hmm. Jalik Yancey yet to sign, shocker. But Jaden Mosley, come on back, man. Come on back. Like, come on.
Let's do it.
Because to me, he's the best overall football player on this list.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah.
So hopefully, if he lands somewhere, hopefully it's cool. Hopefully he doesn't just get caught in the portal madness and get left behind. But we'll see.
Yeah, I do like the returning wide receiver guys in that room. You kept Preston Bird. He's still on the roster. Purdue.
Yes.
The portal's closed. You kept Preston Bird. Torrey Ward is basically Samford's biggest receiver. He had that catch against Baylor, but he's 6'3", 195. He had a solid freshman campaign. Then you throw in Jaden Gibson, transfer from Virginia, who had a solid year last year. He'll continue to improve. So I do like the receiver additions. Like even throwing Nicholas Bookman, a smaller wide receiver, but he had some nice catches, had some nice moments too. But so there's one position I do like.
You really want to keep
production
picking
wide receiver.
But we wanted like he was your freshman. He was the light at the end of the tunnel, and then boom. But you're right, Grant. We did retain some key pieces, which is nice because receiver. It seems like second to quarterback hardest position to evaluate because there's so many players that all look the same, have the same numbers, but at the end of the day, are they going to catch it on an en route 15 yards down the field, safety bearing down, corner right on them? You don't know until it's too late. And at that point, you better hope you pick the right guy because even in practice, they can mislead you. Anyway, we had a question about that. Carter Duncan. Any word on differences between off-season workouts from hatch to gross? It kind of goes though, hatch to grass.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. When you first sent that in, I was like, I want to say hatch to grass, but I know it's grass.
It rolls though. I don't know. We can ask about that. Grant, have you heard anything? I'm going to assume yes, but I don't know specifics yet.
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be some differences. Venables, obviously Jake Venables played at Clemson. He was on UAB staff last couple of years. They bring over Griffin Batt, who's a linebacker at Clemson last year. He's joining. He's going to be assistant strength coach. He's going to join in that. So you got some Clemson flair, and obviously this whole coaching staff. But even in the weight room, you got some Clemson guys who know what to expect. So you got to see some improvement. Obviously, don't know what massive differences there could be, but I guess there'll be better guys to learn from. As Samford just kind of struggled with finding a solid strength conditioning guy over the last couple of years since their original one from a few years ago, I think went to Memphis or Tulane or something like that. So they've kind of been struggling ever since. He was the one that started the Samson program, that he moved on to something else, and it's kind of faltered since then. So we'll see
because he was very good.
Yeah. So yeah, we'll see where Jake and Griffin can kind of take this as they've started their second week of workouts this week.
Yeah. Yeah. So we'll follow up on that. And then our last question, Laren Lofton, or is it Lauren Lofton or Laren? What book were the boys gifted at Christmas? I'm sorry, I don't really know what that means. It can mean a lot of different things. Grant, were you gifted a book at Christmas?
I was not gifted a book. I don't know.
I'm usually gifted like 3 books at Christmas. But this year was pretty heavy on some very useful things. Not that books aren't necessarily useful, but got a lot of batteries and a lot of golf balls and
batteries.
I was pumped. I was like, hey, we're low on AA's. It's the little things, once you look, Grant, you have this to look forward to. Once you pass 30, it's a new life. You just new perspective on everything, including getting batteries for Christmas, which was hype.
Yeah. I've got one group chat talking about where they need to expand the text on their phone because they can't see it. They need glasses. Like, okay, we have reached a whole other level on where it's going on.
Grant, the average age of my group chats is probably older than yours, and we have not had that discussion. So,
yeah, I don't want to shout them out, but they know who they are. Yeah, they know who they are.
So. It's not your dad, is it?
No, it is not. But they do have Samford ties. I can leave it at that. Yeah,
it's your brother.
They do have Samford ties. I can leave it at that. Yeah.
I will say we give our my wife and I, we have 2 boys. We give them a lot of books all the time. I think the most fun book that was added to the collection was what's the OU radio guy? What's his I'm blanking on his name.
Toby Rowland.
Toby Rowland's Unhitch the Wagon Part 2. He named it something a little bit different, but the SEC version. So he wrote this kid's book when Oklahoma was in the Big 12. and it's kind of cute. It's about Oklahoma's mascot and how they roll through all the different mascots of the Big 12. And he did it this time about meeting your new friends in the SEC. Very fun children's book. So that was probably the highlight. But hey, if you want to clarify what exactly book or boys you're talking to, we would be more than happy to address it next week. But Grant, any other thoughts? We got a lot of basketball, starting with the Terriers tomorrow, the ankle biters.
Nothing to add. Just scrolling through social, see if there's anything I missed. But yeah, just a whole bunch of guys in the 27 and 28 class receiving offers. So like we said, Samford staff putting in the work. If you go follow the new Samford staff on Twitter, the last couple of weeks they've been posting graphics saying where they're going to this location to recruit, and they have it on a map. Like cool stuff they do for the coaches and their social. So they got guys in Texas, Georgia, Alabama. I'm sure they'll move to Florida here soon. They're supposed to have a weekend this weekend with some high school and portal visits. We'll see how that happens with the weather coming in, whether there's ice or not this weekend, see if that stops the travel some. But yeah, just a lot of football recruiting. I'm trying not to get waterboarded by all the different stuff going on. But hey, just rather have some positive news rather than just a bunch of dread and thinking about 1-11 again. Time to move on.
A lot going on, and baseball's in a month. So it's going to be a good time. State of the Bulldogs is out. Hope everybody has a fantastic week. Let's beat Wofford. And then maybe hopefully beat the Monks. But State of the Bulldogs is out.